to the world, good day. This is Carpo, and I'm going to do this video about anger and emotion. It's really early in the morning and I just woke up and oh, there's a yellow jacket hovering around me. How funny. Actually, I'll start off with that story. I got stung yesterday, and I was out on the side of the house. My son was playing over there, and I was reaching down, moving some weeds, some plants, removing some branches from this little tree, and I threw some stuff in the pile, and then I felt this pain on my hand. It's like, ow! And I looked down, and sure enough, I got stung. I knew it was a yellow jacket because I saw him kind of swarming around me there. So I was like, damn it, I ran in the house, put on some lavender oil, and it neutralizes the pain, goes away right away. So my son continues to play out on the side of the house there, and then my wife goes out there with my younger son, who's 2. About 5 minutes later, they all come running up the driveway, and it was funny because I knew exactly what had happened right away. It's like, I know that run. I have run into yellow jacket nests a few times in my life, and it's a pain in the ass. It can be, literally. But they'll get into your clothes and they can sting you over and over. So my wife comes running in, she's got a bee in her shirt. My younger son's got a bee in his shirt. Everybody's freaking out. Put some oil on there and whatnot, and went out on the side of the house, and sure enough, there was a beehive there. I had disturbed a yellow jacket nest that was in the little railroad tie, and they were just everywhere. So I waited till it was dark, and I went out and I dumped like a quarter gallon of ammonia down the nest and ran like hell. And I was thinking about it this morning. I was thinking about this idea that we have to, and this ties into my video subject here, which is that we somehow need to cover up our natural tendency to do things, or our natural emotions. The example is, like, I saw a video by this guy a while back where he said somebody had been giving him crap because they said he wasn't very spiritual or evolved or whatever because he was swatting at mosquitoes during the video. And he was kind of defending himself and saying, hey, these creatures are landing on me and trying to take my blood, why shouldn't I fend them off, you wouldn't just let a wolf chew on your arm, there seems to be, with insects, it's like you have to accept it. And I don't see it that way, but I've gone through that phase, kind of a Buddhist idea. I tried to speak with the ants in my house, ask them to leave. I tried to, be as reasonable, but the truth is, we get irritated by certain things, and things interfere with our lives, and so we take care of them. And we try to minimize the impact and the danger we do. It's just like when you're clearing an area for a garden, you have to dig up some weeds. You have to kill nature to make nature, and you have to sometimes swat a few flies and a few bees. So this leads me into my subject, which is basically what we do, the same thing with our emotions. And I've noticed this a lot online, the false image that people portray as being that you have to love everyone and love and care about every single thing. And now I think that there's the unconditional universal love that we have to have for everything, of course, but this is different from acceptance of our own emotions. And this is, I see people covering up their emotions, not getting angry, and afraid to get angry because they're afraid that if they show anger or voice their opinion, then people will point the finger and say, haha, I caught you off guard. Like, sure, I get into heated debates sometimes with people, I don't generally feel angry inside or anything, but, you know, I do enjoy that back and forth, you know, sometimes, because I feel like people learn from it. Everyone learns from it. When it becomes a problem is when people are angry over defending their own ego as opposed to defending a true point of view. In other words, you know, if a person's arguing an atheist and a Christian over religion, they're not trying to prove their point for any reason other than their own, this is what I believe. But sometimes you get into a discussion where somebody says something they know is wrong, you know, and then you show them the evidence to show that that's wrong, and then they continue to berate you or claim that you're wrong. It's easiest to just walk away from those kind of people. And but I have no fear of showing, you know, when I'm angry or showing when I'm upset. But we do tend to hide that away, like to try to mask it, I guess. And I don't know how other people operate in their lives, you know, it's just conjecture. A lot of what I say is speculation. In fact, at least half of what I talk about is speculation, because that's all I do, is speculate on life and think about the deeper meanings. And so sometimes nobody knows for sure, but people get angry with each other over it, you know, and it seems to be a debate over nothing. And that becomes ego. But when it comes down to actual, like, anger, you know, or maybe not just anger, but, you know, I guess it should never get to hostility, name-calling. That's when it becomes useless. But not being afraid to speak up when you see something seems wrong. I've been misunderstood by people as being confrontational or spiteful or maybe hateful towards certain ideas, because I will run into a video on YouTube and I'll make a comment saying bullshit, and then people will get all huffy about it and disagree, and that's fine. It would be just as easy for me to keep my mouth shut, not saying anything, and just be that peaceful, go along with everything guy, but that's not who I am. If I see something that appears to be bullshit, I call it as bullshit. So sometimes people will make a statement, I'll see a comment, you know, and you know, like, well, I think the whole world should die, let's say, or, you know, we're just a plague upon this earth, and somebody would say, well, we all have our opinions, you know. For me, I would say, maybe you're reflecting your own insecurities on the world, you know, or maybe it's a personal issue. It's because I feel like I have to speak my mind and have to speak the truth of what I feel is right. And it doesn't mean that it is right. It doesn't mean that what I say has any weight. It just means that this is my opinion and I'm going to speak it. And the reason why this is so important to me is because this is how things get done in our society. This is how we complete and understand one another, is by when people see others being either lied to or wronged or cheated, they speak up. And some people just close their eyes to it, you know. See no evil, hear no evil, and just play along like everything's okay. And that's just not the case. See, if people had never spoken up in history, nothing would have ever been resolved. We would have still been being trampled on worse than ever. And I know a lot of people believe that we've lost all of our rights, and you know, everything's going down the tubes. But the truth is that we do have more rights today because we fought for them. Regardless of what's going on behind closed doors with the elite and whatnot. So much of that is conjecture and opinion too. But as for me being able to get up, make a video like this, and post it on the internet freely, I still have that ability. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for my ancestors who fought for freedom and fought for truth. I'm not talking about the soldiers, Well, I am, but, not the military. We're all soldiers, and we're all in this together. So it's, as much as I see myself as me and independent and someone that's separate, I've realized over the years how much it's important to include yourself in the whole, but more importantly, how much it is to realize that you don't know shit. Now, all these people out here that are trying to, quote, teach you or show you the way or tell you what's important, really have no bearing on your life whatsoever. One person may be into occult philosophy, another may be into religion. One person may be into cars and racing, and another person might be into sewing or making dolls. No one person's opinion is going to have a bearing on anyone's life completely. It's, in other words, the best guru does nothing more than show you how to find yourself. And that's what it's all about. And the very reason that I've always been, just spoken what I say is my opinion. There's far too many people out there that are pushing everything as fact, and we have to wade through it. It's just a lot of bullshit. So for my life, I've found that knowing myself is the most important thing, because ultimately I wake up with me every day, regardless of what other people think about me. I have to know myself in order to function in my life. And by getting to know myself, I think I've understood others better. In other words, I know that every person can feel just as intensely about things as I do. And along the lines of anger, it's not... some people get angry more easily. Some people are very disillusioned. Some people have been lied to for so long, and then they found out they were lied to and get really mad about it. Others have spent their years lying to others in order just to convince themselves that what they think is right. Some people are very pushy and get very angry at others when they don't follow suit. And in history, this is what made dictators. People who tell you, you either listen to what I'm telling you or you go to hell. That's just, I've met so many people like that. So many people, mostly online, because I think that in day-to-day life I avoid those people. I've met a few, and they always tell you that, they have all this shit figured out. You'll overhear somebody maybe in a bar or restaurant talking to someone. I heard some guy talking the other day about, it was some kid, he must have been in his early 20s, and he was talking about, to some older guy at the bar, it was about a year ago, talking about how, the Freemasons ran the country, and how they were, planning to kill us all off. And, I mean, it's just overhearing this kind of stuff. I've met people like that who take it to such an extent that if you question it, then they get angry. And then anyway, it's okay to get, if you make an opinion, state an opinion or an idea or a fact, whatever it may be, and someone comes back at you with a backlash, you can make the choice to either just walk away from it, or you can speak your mind to retort and confront back. There's nothing wrong with either choice. It's, I guess, the root of this whole thing. If you want to walk away from a discussion because it's useless, do so. But if you want to speak your mind and prove your point, do so as well, because there's nothing wrong with speaking your mind. Although others will interpret that as being defensive, as being unsure. Others will see it as being a person trying to fool themselves. It doesn't matter what other people see. What matters is what you know about yourself. So if you don't know yourself very well, it doesn't work. But I've learned to see myself from the outside. I know my faults and my follies and my flaws, and I know my strengths, and I try to work on both. So, I guess it's this whole new age movement kind of thing, which I don't really see as a new age movement. It's just old ideas revisited, but they tend to have this floaty, everything's okay attitude, and I guess that's where a lot of this comes from, this idea of, you know, it's okay to have emotions, you know, this is who we are. You know, some of the New Age beliefs will say, you know, it's okay to cry, it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel sad, embrace your emotions, oh, but not anger, you know. Just take it for what it is and let it go. Anger is a motivator for a lot of people, you know, as well as stress. So both of them can be detrimental, but they can also really help us in our lives. So I'll leave it at that, and peace out to everybody and all that good stuff, and hope you have a great day. It was cloudy last night for the meteor shower, of course. Now it's going to be sunny again. Go figure.